Well, I'm gonna mute the sound in a sec because yeah, I've got a video I'm watching on there while I'm doing this. So, but all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get the I'm going to take the rotors out because that I put in the other day, and it's really well balanced. Because I've got new spacers, I'm going to swap out the other spacers, which were, where are they? The spacers I've got in there, they're about this thick, you know, and so also I went and got the hole too big. Yeah, I should have made the hole the same size as the shaft so it stays in the middle. And these they can get out of balance because they can move out of position. So I want to put the proper spacers in, the better ones. So yeah, it's going to be hard to get the drums out because the drums are, well, they're friction fitted, so they're going to be extremely difficult. So what I've got to probably have to do is I'm probably going to have to stick some wire around the drum. There's enough room in there, so I'm going to have to take these bearing covers off, and then on each side, because the middle bearing is going to hold everything, each side I've got to wrap some wire around, and I'm going to have to pull the drums out. Otherwise I'm going to have to tap the shaft and knock it through, because it was hard getting them in there, to be honest. So wish me luck. Anyway, I'm gonna mute the sound in a minute. Because I'm actually watching some snooker on YouTube right now, so, and I don't want to get flagged or anything, you know, YouTube copyright stuff, you know. I don't want to get any of that nonsense. So yeah, it's just best that I yeah, okay. So anyway, I'll explain what I'm going to be doing. Right. Actually, I'm going to pause the snooker because I can't watch it anyway when I'm doing this. Yeah. Yeah, I just had to use some string. It's probably going to be pretty difficult. Yeah, I remember how to do it. Yeah. I've got to basically put my pliers on one end and twist it, and then it's not easy to do this part. It's very tricky. It is a fiddly job. Putting them in and taking them out is fiddly, but yeah, that's the design I wanted. So I don't want to mar up the end of my drive shaft. So I've got to hold it with pliers while I get the timing, the RPM timing thing off that end. So I've got to hold the drive shaft with my pliers, because it's tricky when you put these things together. You've got to line up the polarity so that everything's lined up properly. It's it's a nightmare. So I'm going to pull and I'm going to be twisting at the same time basically. So I'll just wrap my finger around this. I've got to start to turn this a bit and pull it and turn it and pull it, and yeah, it's not easy. It was easy putting it in. It was easy putting it in, but getting it out is the trick. I mean, worst things to worst, all I have to do is... Oh, I know how to do it. Yeah, I think I do. I mean, I could just press the whole bar all the way through, but then I might displace my middle bearing section, which is what I don't want to do really. But I could compress it. I could push this bar all the way down, but that's putting a lot of stress on the internal parts, and I don't want to be doing that if I can help it. If I just get enough of this out to grab a hold of, I can twist, you see. Actually, yeah. You know, I never thought about putting something on these drums, like some holes where I could lever it, use an extraction tool on it. That's one thing I overlooked. I haven't glued them on, they're just friction fitted, but it's getting them to start turning. Hang on a minute. I want to do this. Let's see. Actually, I could put my pliers in the magnet holes. That would give me some leverage to turn them. But then I'm pushing, you see. I don't want to push them in. I want to pull them out. I think it's moving. I think I saw it move. I had to put this in earlier. Yeah. Right. It's not easy. I don't know, I'm just trying to... Actually, I'm going to have to... Yeah, I'm going to have to just push and push and push. And I've got enough sticking out now to grab a hold of. That's all I want, is enough to grab a hold of. I don't need the string now, because... So grab a hold of this drive shaft, and then I can start turning. There we go. Just didn't have enough to grab a hold of. So I'm just twisting and pulling at the same time to slowly get it out. I've got to do the same on the other side, but the other side will be easy because the whole shaft will go straight out, you see. And the more of these drums there are, the more friction there is to overcome. And this is all because them washers weren't the right width. I don't want to mar up my drive shaft. It doesn't matter about the ends actually. The ends, it's not critical. It is when they're threading through the bearings. That's why I have to sandpaper them or emery paper them a little bit just to take off any any scratches. It's coming out slowly. I'm just twisting and pulling. Right, I'll take the string off now, I don't need that. We're nearly there. This is hard work. Right, now I can put my fingers behind it. Now I can just use my fingers and thumbs as an extraction tool. God, this is tough. You know, yeah, I could make them looser, but then I don't want them to be too loose, because then I'll never get the damn thing. I mean, it'll start slipping and going out of sync and everything. Right, so now I can push this shaft back down a bit, so I can grab it by the other end, put my pliers in the back. There, got one off. So there's the spacer that I was telling you about. I don't really need to take the other one out. I just need to get the spacer off here. I glued it on, oh actually it was probably over 8 hours ago now, so it's probably set now. I should better get it off. There we go. Got that spacer off. Put the other one on. I don't even need to glue it actually, because just need to line it up properly. Let's just make sure that this is going to fit alright. I'm going to have to ream it out a bit, the hole's a bit tight. I'm keeping acetone treated this. I think I will oh my god, I've got my noodles. I did some noodles earlier and I forgot I put boiling water and I forgot about them. They're probably going cold now. I'm just going to use a little treatment with acetone because it just stops fibres from flying out. Binds all the fibres. Right. You want too much on there. Right, this should stick on here. I'm just going to stick it, the drill's going to guide it. Now I'll pull my drill out. Right, that should stick onto there actually. Hopefully this will go on now. Probably going to have to countersink that a little bit. It's probably going to move when I do this. Oh, maybe not. It's already stuck to the drum. Where's my other thing gone? I'm just countersinking the spacer. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. The camera's a bit off. I'll just turn it a bit. So I've got to do the other end as well, but I'm not going to put this back in all the way until because I'm going to have to pull this drum out as well to get the other end out, but I want I'll test fit this, make sure it's going to fit alright. Yeah, it's good. It looks good. So, oops. Right, stick that on there. As I said, this is perfectly balanced. It's really well. I hope it's going to still be perfectly balanced when I put it back together. Sod's law, it might not be, but if it isn't, it's just a case of rotating one of the drums, or the outside drums probably. Anyway, so I've got to take the other end off to change the spacer on the other end now. Now, in theory, where's my magnet gone? Where's my magnet gone? It's got my two nuts on it. Where's that gone? Oh, move it across the room. I see it. It's alright. Right. Stick it there. Oops. Oop. I keep forgetting about these magnets. Right, just a minute. I just didn't want to lose my nuts. That's why I stuck them on the magnet. I stuck these out of the way. Everything's flying around. Right, I've got these little magnets that I stick my little nuts on the top so I don't lose them. The nuts aren't, the little bolts, they aren't very strong, but that's all I need really. I'm just using a pair of tweezers to take the nuts off, and who needs a spanner? I use my magnet to capture the nuts so I don't lose it on the floor. Alright. Oh, I've mad the end of that up a bit. Just a bit, not much. Hang on. Come on. Hang on a minute. It's because I haven't got the bearing on the other end. It's flopping a bit on me. It's still not quite cleared up on this end. I need some brass pliers. I'm gripping this stuff. So anyway, as I said, this is about me replacing the spacers to put better spacers on. I've still got a burr somewhere. It's stopping me getting it off. It's right on the end. This always happens. Sorry I didn't give you a link, but I went live before I thought about it. And the trouble is, I don't have a live I'm live now link until I go live. And I wasn't going to live stream this, but it was a last minute decision. I kind of got started on it and thought, well, maybe somebody would find it interesting, I don't know. Oh, that's better, it's going to come up I think now. Yeah, it's because I had the pliers on the end. Don't you hate it when that happens? This piece of emery paper is useless. Where's the other piece gone? This is what I want. This is fine, very fine grit. It's just, I've had my pliers on there and I went and chewed it up. On the end. I'm just spinning it and that should work now. There we go, got it. Right. So I've got to repeat the process to swap my spacer out because my other spacer was just wet. Actually, maybe I should acetone treat this one while then it can dry a bit while I'm doing this. This other spacer came straight off the print bed. A new one. Oops, it flipped over on me. That can dry while I'm getting this one out. It's a pain in the ass getting it out. This one's recessed even more. So what I'm going to have to do is I think my centre thing's going to come out. I think it is. Actually, my centre bearing I was telling you about, the one that's in the middle, it looks like it's gonna come all the way out, so I'll just pull the whole lot out now. It's coming out. Oh, it's stuck now. Now it's stuck. Maybe it's gonna go out the other way. There's this little, it's hard to explain it. I think I'll just try pulling out this end, if it will. I know why it's shrunk, because when I put it in there it was really tight. It was really tight when I put it in there, and now it's shrunk a bit. Now I can't get it. If I can just get this out enough, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand it on its end. Oops, that's not going to work. I'm probably going to break it. I can just get this one out. I'm going to wrap something around the drive shaft when I put the pliers on it, because then I won't mar everything up. So what I'll do is I'll get some of that tape. I'm going to wrap some masking tape around the other end, and that should stop me from marring up the drive shaft. I'll make it nice and thick. Right, get my pliers on that, and if I can get this to turn, just get my fingers on it enough. It's not enough poking through yet. I'm going to have to tap it lightly. No, it's not going to work. I don't know risk bending my drive shaft. That little bearing thing in the middle, if I can actually, maybe I should get that out and sand it down so that it will, the whole lot will just pull out. That's probably a better thing to do, because that was a last minute decision to make that centre bearing disc, and it's a little bit of a too tight a fit. It was only meant to give it a bit of support to stop the shaft from oscillating at high speed. And what I could do is wrap the disc. It's a very flat disc with a bearing in the middle. I could wrap the rim of the disc with something like felt, and then the disc will be squishy enough that it'll be able to I'll be able to remove it without too much hassle. I just can't get enough of this out at the moment to get my hands on it. It's just not enough room to get my fingers on it. I'm going to get the string on it again. If I can pull it with a string. I need to sort that disc out so I don't have to do all this messing, because the whole assembly, the original design was for the whole middle to come straight out, and the disc is now causing me some problems. So I'm going to upgrade that disc so that it has a springy, feltish type thing on it. Right, if I can just grab this drum and stop it from spinning. Yeah, I need to put pressure on it, you see. Right. I want this to stop. If I just turn the drive shaft and hold this still, yeah, that might work, but I've got to pull on it at the same time, otherwise I won't get anywhere. This is the trick. If I hook this over the end of the table, the string, right, I'm going to put pressure on it like that, a bit of leverage, and I'm going to turn this shaft, try and hold this from turning. Oh yeah, it's turning, it's coming out, so the table's actually pulling it while I'm turning the shaft. It's working. It's working. I can soon get my fingers on it. So I'm turning the shaft at the other end. I can get my fingers on it now, look. I needed 3 hands, and I didn't have 3 hands. Right, I can take the string off there now. I can grab it. I can turn this end now. I wrapped some glass fibre thermal tape around the drum because it's actually very strong. It doesn't stretch, and I thought that would give it extra support. So I've got the second drum off. There's 2 drums on the inside. They should be easy to get out because the friction adds up. Every time you have a drum on there, it's more friction, so I should be able to push the whole lot out somehow now. So this is the space I need to upgrade with the new one, which is this one. So let's sort that out first. I'll just twist this off. There we go, like the other one. Right. So this is the new spacer. Where's my knife gone? There's a bit of 3D printed stuff on the end and wants to train off. The acetone's dried on it already, so I'll just drill the hole out to clear the hole. Where's my drill? There it is. Right, so I need to stick that on there anyway, so I'm going to stick a bit more acetone on here because I'm going to bond it on. Put the drill in, that'll line it up. That should stick permanently to that now, this drum. Right, so that drum's been updated. Now I've just got to get the oops, I think I better put that magnet back on the fire. Right, so I'm going to sort that middle bearing disc out. Right, I should. Now, getting to that middle drum is going to be a problem, so I'm going to have to push this lot out one end or somehow. It should come out. Oh, there we go. That disc should come out now because I've got more wiggle room. No, it's coming out. I'll turn it around. It's going to come out, which is what I want. So I'm just going to wiggle it until we can get it out. I don't want to break it. I heard some cracking. If I do break the disc, the bearing disc, I'll have to print another one. Oops. Well, this drum's going to come off now. Now, right, let me just grab this end with the pliers and get this other drum off so I can get to the disc. Oops. Oh, I lost my other feet. My feet keep falling off. Right. This is fun. I'm going to stand up to do this, it'll be easier. Right, I should have to just pull this now. Nearly got it. Got ya. God, that's hard work. Oh, I popped the bearing out of the thing anyway, so I had to, that's a good thing I took it apart, innit? The bearing's popped out of my disc. I've got to take this tape off now because I can't get the thing off. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look around. I'm gonna sand that disc down so it will fit. It will go in all the way, and it will have some kind of a felt rim on it, and then when I pull it out in the future, it should be a lot easier. So, I mean, whenever you design something, there's always some problem that you've got to overcome and solve, and that's just another issue. This tape won't come off my finger. Get it off my finger. Right, I'm just going to clean this end doing it. Where's my tissue gone? that tape's really sticky. Right, I've got that off. Now this should come off. Got ya. So second drum out, third drum out I should say. So right, those two there. Right, you're about to see the disc in a minute. I'll turn it around. So there's the bearing's falling out the disc. So so the bearing's gonna come out first. There's the bearing. That's the bearing with the rubber noise dampener. I'll just bring it a bit closer so you can see it. There's the bearing with the rubber ring on it, and that goes inside the disc, which is still looks to be intact. It's not broken. So I should be able to pull all of this out of the other end now. Yeah. Except for the bearing. Take the bearing off. Oh, damn it. I'll get the bearing off eventually. There's something on the end of here. Did I braid that with a hammer? I think I did. And with the pliers, and it's marred up again. I don't know. Right, the bearing should come off now. Not quite. Just right on the edge, right on the tip. It's obviously me when I tapped it with a hammer. I just don't want to be doing that. I just don't want to be tapping it with a hammer or with anything really. So I'm going to have to. Right, let's try that now. Oh, straight away it came off now. It was just the very edge, the tip I'd be, well not tip, right, so I should be able to take all that out. There we go, the whole thing's come out with the other drum on it. I'll stick that on the floor, away from all the pliers, and this disc should come out now. Right, got you, there's the disc. Did I crack it? No, it's still flexible. It's a bit warped though. Oh my god, it's a bit warped. Right, so it's all hollow now, look, you can see right through it. So I'm going to sort my disc out, put my bearing back in it. I need some isopropyl alcohol because it's a friction fit, so when it's not wet it won't go in. Now it'll go in. And when it dries, it's supposed to stay in there. Right, there's my bearing in the middle. There's not a lot of room in there, you see, so I had to make this really thin. So it's literally about the same width as the bearing. There's not a lot to hold it in place. So there it is, my bearing's back in the disc, which is my centre. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sandpaper the rim of this all the way around so that it's looser and it fits more easily, and then I'll put something like a cushioning on there. I could even wrap it with some soft, a couple of layers of tape, and when it's in there, next time I come to remove it, I'll take the assembly apart, that tape should give out and just slip off the disc, and the whole lot should just pull straight out. Then every time I put it back together again, I just have to put new tape on it or something like that. The tape will only, you see the way I fit it, I'll slide it in sideways like this. Right, you put it in sideways, and once you get it to where you want it, you just flip it around like that, so it's parallel, and it locks into the middle section. There's a groove in the middle there, right in the centre of the assembly. There's like a little groove where the two drums come together. like a little recess, and that drops into that recess, and once it's in there it's bloody hard to get it out. And you flip it around and snap it in place with your fingers. Then I put my drums in. It's easy to put the drums on, it's just bloody hard to get them out. Yeah, this bearing's in wrong, it's not right, hang on. It's the rubber is moulded itself the way it was before, and I'm trying to push it in a different position. Hang on a minute. I might glue it in actually. Probably best not to glue it in. Right, that's better. The friction was stopping me getting it in right. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll use some general purpose mild glue just to go around that edge to stop that bearing from falling out. Ordinary general purpose Yoo-hoo glue, because it's not noisy and it's not hard like super glue, and it's easy to get it out. So I don't want it falling out all the time on me. I've just put 3 dabs on each side. I'll let it dry like that. Anyway, so yeah, my noodles are getting cold. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this disc so that I can, this whole assembly this disc will slide in, and then it will go in position more easily. See, what's happening as well is the plastic, because it's ABS and I treat it with acetone, it's shrinking. Over a few hours it's shrinking and tightening up. This was acetoned yesterday, and it was very soft and squeegee, and you can see how shiny it is. See the light reflection on it. The acetone made it come out like it had been done in an injection moulded machine, but it wasn't. It was just 3D printed, and it come out really nice. So anyway, so I'm going to sandpaper the rim so that it's looser, and then I won't have this hassle in the future. The whole lot should just slide out. So I'm just going to move this out of the way a minute, because I want some space on here. So I'm going to get glue all on my fingers off that Yoo-hoo now. So I'm just going to turn this disc around on this sandpaper. I'll use this clamp. Oops. So I'm just going to turn the disc on the sandpaper so it's perfectly round as I'm doing it. You won't be able to see much. So I'm rotating the disc on the sandpaper so I'm evenly doing it all the way around. I don't want it to be off centre, you know what I mean? Right, let's see if that fits better now. Well, what's about a fraction of a millimetre off, really. It's already easy to go in there, look. It's already going in easier. I can almost flip it around now. So, keep turning this. I'm trying to keep the camera in view. not far off. This will shrink even more over time. Ooh, it's gone a lot further in now, but in future I'm not going to have that hassle of trying to get those drums out one by one. Oh, it's gone even further in now. Oh, yeah, it's great. Hang on. That way. Oh, it's tight. In this direction, it's tight. It's loose in the top vertical direction. So I'm going to keep going a bit. I don't want it too loose, otherwise it'll start rattling. My computer keeps going to sleep. Hang on a minute. I should sort that out. We're not far off. I've just had an idea. Perfect idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put something. I'm going to get something like wool or something that's springy, and I'm going to put it around the seam, around the rim. I'm going to wrap a piece of tape around it to hold it in place. A bit of just ordinary tape. And it'll be springy, and it will sit on the inside, and it'll be compressed obviously, but it'll have enough give in it that I'll be able to pull it out and slide it back in again. I think that will work. Maybe not wool actually, but something that's that has a bit of give in it. I could even use a bit of rubber, I suppose. I've got some rubber stuff that I was making my dampening thing out of. I could even use a bit of rubber maybe. That might work. But I'm going to have to take quite a bit off to do that. That's the only problem. And the rubber will have to be super glued onto the disc, otherwise it'll just come off as soon as I start to try to put it in there. I might have to spin this disc up on my electric drill and sand it that way, maybe. Oh, I'll find out. Let's see what the other way. Let's see the other side. Let's see how easy it is this way. Oh, it's tight on this end. It's really tight on this end. It's this particular drum has shrunk more. It's tighter anyway, so it has to come out of this side. It's going to have to come out this way. Oh, it's gone through to the middle. There's a tight spot right in the middle here. There's a bit of a tight spot. Let's see if I can flip it around. You won't be able to see a lot in here, I'm afraid. It's a bit dark in there. I'll shine a torch. I'm actually in the middle seam more or less. It's not parallel to that seam though at the moment. I've got to test fit it, you see. I've got to see if what it's going to be like. And I want to be able to pull it out parallel, you know, without it flipping around, because once the shaft's in there, it can't be, yeah, you know what I mean. Right, so, oh, I've got a finger on the bloody glue now. Right. I think I'm going to spin this on my drill and sandpaper it, but there's a bearing in it, which means that I need to clamp it somehow, otherwise it's just going to, the disc will just, the bearing will go around but the disc won't. Stick it in my drill, I could spin it and then I could grind it, sand it a lot quicker. Just thinking how to do that. Oh, blue tack, maybe, yeah. If I get this short stubby drive shaft, whatever it is, this little short stubby drive shaft, stick this in here, I stick that in the drill and stick a lot of blue tack on the back end. It should stop it from going round and round the bearing, and I should be able to sand it a lot quicker. I'm going to try that actually. Oh my god, it's got a bit warped now. It was dead straight yesterday. I'm not worried about that as long as the bearing's trued up. Right, so blue tack. If I get this blue tack on the back end, oops. I'll do it on both sides. I'm only going to do it gently, I'm not going to, I just need some friction to overcome that bearing that's in there. So this blue tack will stop the disc from spinning while I'm sanding it, and it'll keep the crap out of the bearing because the blue tack is a good seal. So right, I think you'll call it silly putty in America. Right, this is going to work. I'm going to get my drill. It's going to get a bit noisy for a minute or two. Hey, I don't mind if I take too much off because I'm going to stick this rubber band around it if I take too much off. I really should print some new discs that are the right size, but I don't want to waste it just for the sake of it. Yeah, that'll work. It's got a lot of grip on there. Let's check it. Oh, it's really wobbly. It's because the bearing's not in straight. That's better. Right, so I'm going to get my drill. It's a bit late at night, you know. I don't want to make too much noise, so I'm going to have to be quick. I hope this doesn't kill my live stream, because this does they can do all sorts of weird noises and things. I'm going to stick a cushion under it because it'll muffle the noise and get these magnets out of the way. Stick this cushion on here. I'll do it this way around, then you can see what I'm doing. It won't be as loud then. Right. I'm not going to need my chuck key, I don't suppose. I suppose I'll better do. Right, let's test it. Right. Alright, this is going to work. It came apart. The blue tack slipped, but anyway, it's alright. Oh, it's gone a bit melted there. I think that's enough. Actually, let's test it and find out. I've got a little bit of I melted some of the plastic on it. On that rim, it just started to melt. I'm just going to have to trim that off with my knife. I think I'll take it out. Actually, I think it's going to fit now. Oh yeah, a lot better. It's going in vertically, vertically I should say. Vertically. It wants to look a bit more. It's definitely better. I'll do the rest of it by hand because I was melting it. Oh, I don't know. No, I'll just push this blue tack on. I'm just going to give it another shot on the drill. I was pressing a bit too hard. It melted the plastic a bit. I shouldn't be pressing so hard. Well, I won't use a chuck key, then I won't tighten it too much. It's the friction that's melting it, so I'm going slow. Right, I'm going to take this off. Oh, why won't it come? Right. Okay, so that should be about it. This seems to be slightly oval shaped. It's not perfectly round. Anyway, I'm going to do the rest by hand. can't get this one out now. I've got you. Right. So I'm going to finish this off by hand because it's melting a bit. It's the friction. And it's also, the hole is very fractionally oval shaped, as in, I don't mean much, but I'm talking about maybe 1/1000th of an inch or 2/1000th of an inch or 10,000th of an inch. But it's whatever. It's just very slightly, not perfectly round. So when I put this disc in, I might need to take more off one side than the other, and I need to find out which. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to use some felt tip pen or nail varnish, and I'm going to paint the rim, stick it in and see which edge is tightest, see where it scrapes more, then I'll sand that area more. Right. It's a lot better now. It's definitely the width that's narrower, so that's narrower than that. Let's turn the disc a bit. That's easier there. Right, so. Oh, it just about goes in by itself now. I think I might have got it. I need something parallel to push it out that's oh no, I'll do. I'll use my magnet drum. I'll just use my drums and see if I can push it out parallel. Oh! If I can push it out parallel, then I've cracked it. It's tight at this top end here. It's really tight at this top end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can remount this drum a little bit, which is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of surface area in here. Anyway, I'm going to have to give it a shot. We might be talking about alright Ken, thanks. No commercials. Yeah, I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sand the inside of this top drum, because this top drum is actually a little bit tighter than the rest. It's just my uneven processing, so I'm going to sand this top of this drum rather than making the disc too small. I could use an electric drill, but I'm not going to do, because you have to bear in mind it's 11:30 at night here, so if I just sand this top of this drum, it should solve the problem. What was that? Oh! I mustn't break my stubs off. I probably need to put something under there so I don't break my my bolts that stick out. I don't want to break the bolts off. They're only little. That should help. camera's a bit low. Right. I'll smooth that out with acetone in a bit. I'll spray it with acetone, it'll gloss it back up again. That's what I like about this ABS. When you get it all dull and rough, you just spray it with a bit of acetone spray, because I've got some in a perfume bottle here, and I just spray it onto the ABS and it all shines up again. Let's try this. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It's going to fit now. We were talking about probably 0.5 millimetre, so let me get my drum. Oops! My drums are going to stick together. Right, 2 drums. Oh, that one's in. Let's get that. Took them all off his dry shaft actually. Right, let's see if I can push that disc in with these. If I can push it in, I can pull it out. Yay, it works! It goes in now, look. It works. That means if I can push it in, I can pull it out. Is it tight in the middle? Yeah, it's tight. I don't even need it. I don't even have to put a line around it. That looks a bit, you know, around the rim. If I did, it wouldn't go in probably. Right, let's see if I can push it out. Yeah, it pushes out, look. Problem solved. I don't even have to put stuff around the rim, so it's going to work. So all I have to do now is line my drums up like this. Oh, these are the end ones. That's an end one. The steel washers are on the end. That's right. So these 2. Oh, that's right. This is right. So this goes in the middle. Right. Then we have our other drums like this. And they're going like that, right? So our camera's a bit high again. So now all I have to do is put the drive shaft between all this lot and then slide the whole assembly back in, and we should be in business. So now this is the fun part, is putting the drive shaft back in. It shouldn't be too bad because got this is pretty tough, it really is. I'm trying to keep them lined up so that the polarities are all lined up. Right, through the middle bearing. This is going to be the fun part. So if I back the camera out, the drive shaft is going right up there. So what I've got to do now is I've got to put my pliers, because it's going to cut me otherwise, I'm going to put my pliers on the back end of the shaft and push the shaft all the way through. This is going to be tough. This is going to be hard work. Put all my weight on it. Only went so far. I got snagged somewhere. Ah, there is another way. I could use my G-clamp as well. God, it's not going to go. No, I'm going to have to wiggle the rest of them on, so I'm going to wiggle these on so far. So what I'm going to do is wiggle them on. I'm going to put a line so, ooh, that's going to fly at me in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a pen, because I want to make sure these line up, and get my ruler. I'm going to draw a line along there so that I can line everything up. Because I'm going to be twisting them, you see. The poles have got to alternate equally, otherwise you get otherwise your AC is not perfectly symmetrical, if you understand what I'm saying. So I've got a line across all the drums, so now I can twist each one individually and pull it down, and I can do the first, I can just push the first one. Right, I should be able to push the second one. Actually, one by one I should be able to push them down, yeah. Right. And the next one. Yeah, that's working. Right, there we go. So one by one I can do them, but I can't do them all at once. Too much friction. Now, I'll get the other drum. A minute. Right, so I need to make sure I've got my poles lined up properly. Right, let's check. Oh, it's not lined up right. Not yet. That's I've got this upside down. That's right. Okay. Alright, these are lined up. Just push that apart a minute. I want to check that this, you can actually tell by the magnets themselves as well, physically. Right, this whole assembly, including the middle bearing, I need a gap actually. There needs to be a bit of a gap between the middle, this section, these two. There needs to be a gap between this middle bearing and these drums. So I'm just going to check the alignment. So I need about. So I'm just going to pull these top two about 2 millimeters up. Right, 2. That's about 2. That one up about 2, and then these other two have to be 2 millimeters from the bottom one. So I'm going to go up. One. Right, so there should be a bit of slack now in this middle bearing, and there is. There's a little bit of slack there. Right, so when I put this in now, I'm hoping that middle bearing won't pop out or anything. It should all go straight in now. Fingers crossed. I have to wiggle it a bit. Oh, there we go, it works! Yay! It's gone in. Let me pull it out again so I'll make sure that the bearing hasn't popped out. So I'm gonna, if I can do this in future, it will make life so much easier. I have to wiggle it a bit. Is the bearing still on? Can't see now, the gap's too small. Yep, the bearing's still on. Good, that works. So I can put the whole lot back in again. In one go now. I don't have to fart about. Oh yeah, I was going to acetone treat it, yeah. I haven't done that yet. The drum wants to be shined up again because it makes it slippery. So what we're going to do is, I can't put that in while it's wet either. So what I'll do is I'm going to prop this up so you can see it. Like that. And I'm going to shine a torch in the back so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so we just squirt. I've just got to shine up the inside because I'm sanding it all. And the acetone just strengthens it a bit. There we go. All shined up again. It doesn't do it justice really. Get the light on it, you can see better. You should be able to see it. There's a vent in the base. You should be able to see the light shining on it now. So when I sandpapered it was all rough and horrible, and now it's all shiny again. It's difficult to get the light on it because it's inside a tube. It's like looking down a tunnel. Anyway, I'm going to let that dry for a bit, and then I'm going to reassemble. It won't take long to dry. Probably, I only sprayed it with a little bit. Probably 20 minutes because it's just a thin layer. And I'm going to eat my noodles while that's drying. And I don't suppose there's much point in live streaming the rest. You saw me take it apart, so you know it's going to go back together. It's simple. I just stick this whole assembly in now in one unit instead of having to fart about taking the discs off one by one. I probably need to shine this up a bit actually, this mid-bearing thing. Actually no, I'll leave it rough because it might slip better. Two shiny surfaces together tend to stick more, so I'm just going to leave that all. I'm going to leave this particular rim roughed up because it will probably slide better on the shiny surface. Yeah, so I've got to let that dry, so I can't really do much right now. So I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to watch some snooker, and then I'm just going to push this whole lot back in put the bearing end caps back on and check balance, make sure it's still balanced, and that's about it really. Not much else to show you. I mean, you saw it before, so it shouldn't have changed, and if it has changed it'll probably be because the drums will want offsetting or something, and that's simply a case of twisting one drum 45 degrees to rebalance everything. I didn't actually put a line on this one, so I'm going to do a line on this one as well, because oops, everything will look even then. Oh, I should have thought using my steel rule. It's magnetic, so it stays on the drum without me holding it, look. There's me using a plastic ruler, and the steel one just sticks to the magnets. Yeah. Oh well. A bit of dust in there. Alright, oh my god, a bloody match already, yeah I know, unbelievable. Right, so I'm going now. I'll come back later when I've watched some snooker, and when this is actually feels tacky now, it's drying, but yeah, I don't want to put this together while it's tacky. I don't want to mar up the surface, because in the future if there's any stress marks, they show up as white stretch marks on the plastic, and I like to know that those are stretch marks and not something I've done accidentally by scraping it, you know what I mean? So I'm going to let it dry properly. Alright.